The lights go out with Frentzen and Villeneuve struggling to get any grip. Schumacher and Fisichella powering past towards Saint-Devote. Michael Schumacher already well clear of the second-place driver Giancarlo Fisichella, who is 6 seconds behind. Ralf Schumacher has passed Frentzen for third. No such problems for Michael Schumacher, who has so often proved a master in these sort of conditions. Schumacher's Ferrari lapping Frentzen, making it all seem so easy, even in these conditions. Schumacher glorious to watch. Jordan takes Jordan. Panis repeating his drive of last year, chasing Fisichella, Jordan versus Prost, Goodyear versus Bridgestone. Barrichello some 23 seconds behind and yet to stop. Panis finally dives past Fisichella for third. The race today, though, has been all about Michael Schumacher. Prost driver Olivier Panis demonstrating the control required. And Michael Schumacher takes the checkered flag to win a very damp Monaco Grand Prix. Ferrari's joy nothing compared to that in the Stewart camp as Barrichello finishes second. Traction control quite obviously a thing of the past as they stream down to the first corner, leaving Barrichello's Stewart Ford stranded on the grid. Schumacher first to the corner while Villeneuve and his teammate use the grass. Villeneuve learning the lessons of the first start, more cautious this time, no one needing to use the grass as they all go through. Jacques pipping Michael for first just before the end of lap 1, judging the move to perfection into turn 1. Perhaps a fault with the German's car slowing him down, allowing Berger to catch up only a few laps later, Schumacher braving it out around the outside. But on lap 8, Berger repeats Villeneuve's move to take second place. Villeneuve puts in the fastest lap of the race to capitalise on his quick stop. A change for Alain Prost, now a team owner, as his man Olivier Panis comes in. Again, a faultless stop, Panis with no visible problem. Panis up to a superb third place, undoubtedly the highest Bridgestone runner. The Benetton screens show their man Berger in second, but for how much longer? He's just 6 seconds behind Jacques Villeneuve, with Panis closing all the time. So Jacques Villeneuve wins the Brazilian Grand Prix in front of his delighted team. Gerhard Berger and the impressive Panis third. A great result for Jacques.
At the green, both Williams got a flyer this time. Coulthard matching Hill all the way before slipping by into turn 1. With the Ferraris third and fourth, Schumacher was back in fifth, just ahead of Frentzen. Keen to get back past Alesi as quickly as possible, Schumacher attacked at the first opportunity, the hairpin. Fourth, next target, Berger. With Coulthard and Hill pulling clear at the front, it wasn't until the hairpin again on lap 5 that Schumacher could effectively challenge. Third. Lap 22, Schumacher stopped and rejoined behind Alesi again. Hill was thus in the lead and pulling away comfortably. From Alesi second, Schumacher back in third. Lap 23, Schumacher was sizing Alesi for a carbon copy of his manoeuvre into the hairpin on lap 1, but Alesi wasn't having it this time. For Hill, no such worries, and a 50-second lead over Berger, who now found himself second. At least until lap 35, when the Ferrari expired. Now Panis took over the dreaded third place in the Ligier, but it wouldn't last as Herbert ahead slowed and retired. Panis had crept into second and relative safety. With 5 laps to go, Panis was in trouble, the Mugen billowing smoke. With just the last few corners to go, Hill became Ligier's saviour. Lapping Panis for the second time, it meant the Frenchman had one less lap to endure. Damon thus crossed the line the winner, nearly 5 miles ahead of Panis in second and ending the season on a high.
For Ligier, it was their best result of the year.
Frentzen slow from the start. Both Alesi and now Schumacher driving past into the first corner. Schumacher gaining another place at the expense of Alesi in a superb manoeuvre. Schumacher chases Villeneuve with Coulthard still in touch. Alesi, Hakkinen and Frentzen making up the top 6. Coulthard attempting to snatch second. Michael resisting the move and holding position. Frentzen now under pressure from Johnny Herbert's Sauber. Coulthard completing his move on lap 13. Villeneuve over 20 seconds ahead of second place Jean Alesi. Hakkinen pushing very hard ahead of Alesi and Schumacher. Alesi looking for a way past the Finn, which he does. Followed through by Schumacher. The track visibly warming, Panis on harder Bridgestones, catching Coulthard. The Prost team spurring him on, depriving Coulthard of third with apparent ease. Olivier's next target, Alesi, now over 14 seconds behind Villeneuve. Alesi in for his last stop, which needs to be a quick one with Panis closing in. 8.2 seconds, Panis is in as well. Just 7.6 seconds. Panis cutting into Villeneuve's lead. Panis still chasing the Williams of Villeneuve as his team and wife watch. It's feasible that Villeneuve has eased to conserve tyres. Another 10 points for Villeneuve, with Panis again on the podium.
The rain fell hard that Sunday morning, opening the doors for the unexpected. Near the back of the grid, Olivier Panis and his wife little suspected that this would be the biggest day of their lives. The start was initially clean, but even as Damon Hill, who had qualified his Williams second behind the Ferrari of Michael Schumacher, led the pack up into Sainte-Devote, Jos Verstappen became an early casualty. Then it was Michael Schumacher who improbably rode up on the curb before crashing his Ferrari into the guardrail. Gerhard Berger, who had qualified fourth, also retired early with gearbox problems in his Benetton Renault. Olivier, meanwhile, began to scythe his Ligier Honda through the field. Eddie Irvine succumbed to the Panis pressure at the Lowe's hairpin, locking up his Ferrari but just missing the Armco. At the front, a devastated Damon Hill lost his best chance yet of emulating his famous father's Monaco victories with a blown Renault engine in his Williams. Now another Frenchman, Jean Alesi, was leading at Monaco, and Panis was chasing him. Then Alesi too was out, his Benetton suspension crying enough. All round the circuit there were now crashed cars and angry drivers. Jacques Villeneuve, who'd been looking good in a Williams set up for wet conditions, was taken out by Luca Badoer. Then Irvine again lost control and was rammed by Mika Salo and a livid Mika Hakkinen. McLaren's David Coulthard closed in as the minutes counted down to the 2-hour limit, but Olivier remained rock solid. The checkered flag was waved, the pit lane and all of the Principality went wild. This was the last Grand Prix win for Ligier, a team born of the mighty Matras and then sold in 1997 to Alain Prost. And although Olivier Panis would never again win in Formula One, he could always look back on this most stunning of victories at the world's most famous venue. A French driver had won the Monaco Grand Prix, and he had done so in a French car.